sucks. So ducks were really tough this year. We just didn't get anything to push that far south. Just had a bunch of weird weather. But we were excited for the end of the year because in January we knew that honkers were going to be stacked up north of Kansas City, and that's where we were going to hunt with Jeremy from Waterfowl Assassins Guide Service, and it was just something that we had just been marked on the calendar and waiting for it to get there. So we were super pumped when it finally did.
So I've known JR Borchelt for several years. We like to hunt together at least 2 or 3 times each season, and he lives up around Kansas City, and they get a lot of migrating Canada geese, whereas below Interstate 70 in Missouri, they just really don't cross over that border anymore. So whenever they start to get thick, he always likes to give me a call, and we roll up there and smash birds with him.
I'm Jeremy Borchelt with Waterfowl Assassins Guide Service out of Liberty, Missouri. We run hunts all over the Midwest, primarily focusing on Canadas and snow geese. Kris and David came up to have a hunt with me, and we scouted this field out. It ended up being a pretty epic honker hunt.
Danger, danger, you don't know my name, but I followed you here through heaven's gates, and I love the way you smile when you cause me pain. Vulture, vulture, I can see you spy from your spot up above. You watch the weather die, and I love the way you smile when you take to the sky. So when I die, bury my body in a 3-piece suit. So while I lie.
So JR had been out doing quite a bit of scouting. He'd found a roost that had around 5,000 to 6,000 birds on it. He'd been watching the field that they'd been feeding on, and he gave me a call and said, we need to roll up there. It's going to be a train wreck.
So we got out there that morning and it was pretty cold. It was the coldest weather that we had seen all year. And we set up 50 to 60 dozen honker decoys, which is a lot for anything that we do down here. But up there, that's what it takes to kill them. And Jeremy's been hunting up there for the last 15 to 16 years. So he knows his stuff and he seems to always be where the birds want to be. So we got up and got them all set up and set out in the blind, wait for everything to start to fly.
Getting snow covers for every line.
It came with the blind.
But you know, now the situation's like.
Yep, that sucks.
Watch the phone.
I don't know what they saw yesterday, but they didn't like something.
Yeah, I don't know if it was her poking her head out and moving around, or I don't think so.
So we got out there bright and early, started getting things set up. Majority of the birds have been feeding in the afternoon just because it's been so crazy cold. But we knew there was a lot of birds migrating into the area, so we went ahead and got the spread set up and waited out throughout the day.
Is that the heated one? Yeah, I'm gonna give me one. They had them next to a lacrosse pair.
You reach in there and grab mine.
Oh yeah, there's some flying overs. So we knew we were going to have a pretty long sit for the day. We were waiting for migrators to come in, and everything that we were expecting to shoot at really was going to be that afternoon. And it can be pretty tedious sitting in the blind for 12 hours or so. So we decided to call it quits in the middle of the day and go out and take a lunch break, and decided that we were going to come back a little bit later when the afternoon birds were going to start flying.
Yeah, hopefully they fly out too. We were getting worried yesterday. Especially when we're just up in the field above, sitting there watching and listening to them all day. So as we'd hoped, we saw a lot of birds migrating into the area. The downside is the roost that was fairly close to us was just so gigantic. It pretty much pulled every bird into it. So we decided to go ahead and pull out of the field and go eat some lunch and come back for the afternoon.
I'm down right now to the back time. Gotta get better tools. I got a 1940 cylinder, so shit, it makes it kind of difficult to make that steer.
Nice.
Now I am. Hi, David. Hello. Are you excited?
Yeah, I saw you. Very excited.
$200.
Look at all these chickens.
Man, that fudge.
So the birds started to fly out of the roost. We got pretty pumped and excited. We knew it was going to happen. As we'd seen a lot of birds fly into the roost, all the new birds just started flying pretty much every which direction out of the roost, went everywhere. As the sun dropped down, the birds that we had been watching in the field, they started to come out, and when they did, it was just pure madness.
Don't you combat your coast, it's already got you to be the better man or ghost that you've always wanted to be like the beeline, to rise like the shoreline. And don't you curse your mama's name, she's already loved you more than you've ever loved the same. Well, don't come knocking at my door to hold you and console you, to lie to you and fight for you. And there's a ringing in my ear, and there's a crawling on my skin, and there's a bottle breaking in the old church tonight that spreads like fire. And it spreads like fire. It spreads like fire. So it seems you've let me go. My drinking's moved you on down. Well, on further down the road, where my friends don't treat you wrong. In the weather, well, it's better. There's no mailbox for my letter, but I still can follow you if I decide I want to change, to be the better man or ghost. It's all just further down range, in the poison dark and it sinks in. So I take to the seas again, and there's a ringing in my ear, and there's a crawling on my skin, and there's a bottle breaking in the old church tonight that spreads like fire. And it spreads like fire.
So we got back that afternoon. We went ahead and got sat down and wait for birds to start to fly out. And when they did, there was just thousands of birds coming up out of this roost, and they were going in every which direction. And it was really cool to see. You know, we've always hunted honkers down here, and I've just never seen anything quite like that. It was pretty unbelievable. And once the sun started to go down, we started to get some nice shadows on the blind. They worked really well. And it was a great shoot. It was pretty cool because I had my wife Lynsey with me, and she was filming from behind us, and she's just never seen birds like that, and always kids us about when we hunt down here and how we see quite a bit fewer. But it was really cool for her to get out there and see it, and it was a memory that I'll enjoy, and I'm looking forward to going back next year.
Oh yeah, that was nice. Real nice.
I remember the first time my grandpa shot a banded goose out of my cousin's pit back behind his house on his farm, and I've always loved goose hunting since then and always wanted to go. And it wasn't until I was about in high school I really started waterfowl hunting hard, chasing geese and ducks. And then once I got out of high school, I started guiding, and really enjoyed getting people that didn't have the opportunities to get on the land and get on the birds like I do, their chance to shoot limits of birds, shoot bands, have a good time. You know, we all laugh and have a good time and joke around and stuff when we're in the field. And that's been one of my primary focuses on running my guide service, is to make sure people have a good time. And birds are just a bonus. You know, it's all about the camaraderie and making sure everybody has a good time on these hunts.
And we can sell our house and get a bunch of decoys like this.
Yeah.
Freaking 50 dozen decoys. Oh,
I love hunting every type of waterfowl species, especially on good days where you've got mallard just dumping right into your spread. It's hard to beat. But at the end of the day, when you're laying in a big spread in a field, cornfield with honkers just pretty much all over, it's really hard to beat. That's what Jeremy at Waterfowl Assassins like to do. He works hard, does the scouting, gets you out in the field, and puts it around your face for you.
Here's what I can find.
He's doing work?
Yeah, hey, look at this. I picked up 4 decoys, so now I need to take a union break.
I got a sister I don't see so much of. I see the sea so much I can only think of the words best said to her in long letters. We could sit down over a glass of wine, I'd say it'd be fine. You just gotta wait your turn. There's more beauty in your house than the pages of a magazine, love. And prayer, my darling, it ain't just for the faithful, for the broken down people that we see and be in the streets, and all the times that are happening in between.